So rude.
Mm-hmm.
She just said, do we have to start the show with you making a stupid face every time?
Mm-hmm.
Or the fake crying? It's getting old. So she says it's getting old, guys. It's getting old.
She needs new shtick.
A year into this relationship, and now it's getting old.
Pretty much. It's been more than a year.
I said about. Anyway, guys. Allison's already talking about your store is popping off. Some might even say your sales are lit, dude. Dude, they're lit.
Just stop. Just stop, Allison.
They're popping off. Hey guys, what's up? It's Sunday, which means it's the Sunday Live Haul. And Sunday Live Haul with LV Pink Panther, aka Vicky, aka Victoria, aka Poopy Pants.
Really? That's
aka
a new one.
My fiance.
That's a new one. I haven't pooped my pants yet. Yet. I say yet.
It's only a matter of time, you know. Anyway, guys, what's happening? This is your favorite show of the week.
It is.
Are you excited about it?
Mm-hmm.
You're feeling a little sick today, though, huh?
I'm feeling a little bit crappy. Yeah.
She's feeling poorly. Feeling poorly, as I say.
I'm starting. I don't know. I'm just starting to get either run down or starting a cold or something.
Yeah.
The past couple of days, I've been feeling off. So.
Yeah. So, but you know what I think will make you feel better? Probably going ice skating.
Well, see, I just got a text message. I think we're not going ice skating now.
Oh, wait. Maybe we're not going ice. We were. Anyway, the plan was, so we're right by, it was going to be at Green Valley Ranch, right? So Green Valley Ranch is a casino and like whole casino shopping area that's like right down the street from us. And I guess outside they have an ice skating rink. There's a few of them in town. Mm-hmm. But anyway, we're supposed to be doing that. Apparently, maybe we're not now. But I would say if we're not, that's probably a good thing because you said you're not feeling very well.
No.
But sorry guys. Feeling oldly.
Mm-hmm. You're liking my hair today, Clark West Trade. Yeah, this is my natural curly mop here. This is what it looks like now that's starting to get long.
I like it when it's curly like that.
It's just an unruly curly. So.
I like the unruly curly.
I like it better when my hair's long. It's starting to grow back, so we'll see.
I don't know.
But thank you.
Anyway, what's going on, everybody? Good to see you guys. It's been a long week. It's been a busy week. We had like so much stuff going on with the holidays. So like everything that we like, normally do was kind of thrown off, but we got to see family we got to see friends who are our family here.
Family.
We had like a million things that we had to do. You thought that our meetup was this last Tuesday, so then we were even more frantic, and then you realized that no, you had actually scheduled it for this coming Tuesday,
which was what I had intended to do, but I thought I made a mistake.
You cray. You cray. But anyway,
it's the fact that we have 5 weeks in November that threw me the frig off. That's really what it was. It's pretty much like been because November 1st was on a Thursday, so and this was the earliest Thanksgiving. There's like the biggest time between Thanksgiving and Christmas that can possibly happen. So that's what threw me off. It threw me off like my weeks.
Yeah.
So,
but it's like every day we've had like it feels like we've had like 5 million things going on, and then we're finally kind of getting back into the swing of things. I took seriously 1 million pictures yesterday. I think I now have like over 120 things in my notebook that are ready to be listed. But that should last me through this next week, and then we're going to Phoenix for the weekend. So I'll be able to list a little bit from my little notebook on my way there.
I forgot mine downstairs.
Go get it. Go get your numbers.
I didn't do my cost of goods. You said that we
always do that.
Well, I didn't.
We just figure out the shipping.
I didn't.
Well, we'll figure out your other percent. You guys, I apologize.
I'm sorry.
I apologize for the interruption. But anyway, so I have like I'm ready to be like listing like crazy. So as soon as we're done with the show, I'm going to get some listing done because I've just barely done the minimum the last couple of days. Vicky is down taking pictures now, but we didn't think we were going to really get any sourcing done. But she was able to go for a couple hours. I think that was on Friday.
Yeah.
You went. So Friday she went and did a little bit of sourcing, got some stuff. And then, you know how you do. We're like working along, and she sends me a message yesterday, and she's like, "Hey, want to go on a thrifting date tonight?" So I was like, "Heck yeah!" Because I would have had nothing to show for today. I was actually going to go back through the stuff I was taking pictures of, and basically pulling some stuff from there. Oh, am I boring you? I was just gonna pull stuff that like I'd already bought last week. That basically would have been like not as good of stuff because I always grab like the very best for each week. But we went last night. We went thrifting. We only went to one store. And seriously, like sometimes I'll go to one of the Savers and I'll only find a few things that I want. I literally like filled my cart. And you got a ton of stuff too, which I think you're pretty excited about.
Yeah, I got about 10 things.
Not like you got some big stuff. Like you got stuff that you're excited about, lots of Christmas type stuff.
Yeah.
I just do
I think Savers sandbags, and then they just have a ton of Christmas stuff out at Christmas time. Like they have Christmas stuff out year round, but I think they just have a ton at Christmas time. So yeah, I've gotten some good stuff. Yeah,
for sure. Sales. Well, what have your sales been like this last week? You've been on the old eBay roller coaster, EKG machine.
I had a good week. I did. I had a good week, but I had 2 days that were terrible. The real Stitch. Have you decorated yet? No, honey.
Not yet.
No, actually, I normally decorate the weekend after Thanksgiving, and Katie is a little bit in the doghouse right now because we have not pulled all the stuff to start decorating.
There's been so much stuff going on, though.
There's always stuff going on. We need to take
We
need to take a day off, like tomorrow, as soon as we're done shipping.
The problem is that we've had multiple days in this week where we weren't really able to do anything. And so I'm like, I want to get some stuff listed. And so, and now all of our stuff's over at Derek and Amber's. So it's like, we got to arrange with them to go over and get it, blah, blah,
which is going to happen tomorrow.
So it's going to happen. I told her to schedule it, and then I'll have no choice. I'll have to go get it. So
yes,
we will get it.
It takes me about a week to decorate the whole house. I have 4 trees, and Christmas looks like it threw up in my house, inside and out. It takes about a week, several hours a day, an entire week. Yeah. So yeah, it definitely has to get done this week.
Yeah. So your sales have been really good, but you did have like 2 days where it's like,
I had 2 days where I listed, I had $30 on Wednesday, I believe, $30 in sales on Wednesday or Tuesday. And then on Thanksgiving, I had one sale for $115.
Yeah. See, my Thanksgiving was decent. Like, it wasn't crazy, but I did a couple $100 on eBay, and then I did like 100 on Etsy. So I did about a $300 day. So it's pretty good. And then Friday was, as the kids say these days, Friday was popping off. Friday was popping off, guys. So my sales were really, really good on Friday, and then Saturday it was kind of like meh, and now it's kind of like it's okay today.
Mine were good this weekend so far.
Yeah. So, but when I look at my whole week, that's whenever I have a day where I'm kind of like not super stoked about it, I'll look back at like my whole week or my whole month and kind of put it in a little bit of perspective, and then it's usually okay. So, oh yeah, Waste Not Want Not says, Victoria, you need to do a blog tour of the house when it's decorated. I haven't said anything to you about this yet, but I was actually thinking once we decorate for Christmas, we could actually do like a video, like a pre-recorded video tour of the house so people could see it, what it looks like decorated, but also kind of see our offices. And they've seen bits and pieces of it when I've shown. You're like scared. They've seen bits and pieces of it when
well, we got to get stuff done. Basically what happens is we are doing our first meetup, and it's actually at our house Tuesday night. So here's the problem that has now eliminated the rest of this week for getting everything decorated too. So unless we go pick everything up tomorrow, get it entirely decorated by Tuesday night, it's not going to happen this week either. And that would mean, to be honest with you, I'm not going to decorate if I can't get it done by this next weekend. It is just too much stuff to enjoy for 3 weeks at a time.
Well, we're definitely gonna have to get it done because I'm not gonna spend the next month plus listening to you cry about it.
It's my favorite time of the year.
Yeah, I love it too. So we'll get it done. We will get it done, and then we will do like a little toury thing, and whatever. Anyway, let's talk about our numbers then. You want to talk about what do you got? What do you got broken down over there?
Okay, so I did not do my cost of goods, so I apologize.
Whatever. We'll figure out
my cost of goods is generally 10% of what I'm selling.
We'll figure out your 26. We'll figure out your 65%.
Yeah. So I had 60 sales in the last 7 days, 59 on eBay and 1 on Etsy, for a total of $3,015. So my average sale price was $50.25.
Ooh, that's pretty good. Really close to mine.
Which is high for me.
And this is what 65% of that would be.
65% is 1959 and change, so like 1960, and that's probably about accurate when you take off fees and cost of goods.
So that's about her net is close to 2,000 out of that number. Because if you guys are following each of us on Instagram, we break down our weekend numbers every week, and it really, you'll see that we'll put in like, you know, our shipping costs, our fees, road listing fees. I do in mine. You know, cost of goods. We put all of that stuff in, and you'll see that it's pretty consistent where we're at as far as like our percentage. And so we just kind of figure when we do these weekly numbers, we figure about 65% is what our net profit's going to be. Now, of course, it doesn't include like paying the bills, like our phone bill, gas, you know, it doesn't include all the
square footage,
taxes. Yeah. We're not figuring that in, but whatever. This is just basically us being as transparent as possible to give you guys a good idea.
And I keep it, somebody had said there, I keep our decorations up until at least the 6th as well. Yeah. So I really like to enjoy them as long as possible, but it's a very, very long process to put everything up, and I like things in a very specific way. So
can you guys believe it? Would you have ever thought that she wants it very specifically done?
So other than letting Katie do the outside and help me cart things in every room, I'm pretty much going to do it myself because I like things in a specific way, in specific rooms, and so yeah.
But I have to do it outside. It's a lot of work outside too, but not as much. Anyway, okay, so my numbers for the week, eBay, I had 36 items I sold for a total of $1,941.34. Etsy, I sold 16 items. I had a pretty good week on my best week on Etsy, I think, for a total of $755.83. So all together, I sold 52 items for a gross total of $2,697.17. My COGS were $315 roughly. My average sale price was $51.87. And when I figure 65% net profit, it puts me at $1,753.16 for the week. So pretty close.
Just a couple $100 less than and so I didn't figure out my cost of goods, and your 65%. Your total was a few $100s lower than mine, and your 65% was a few $100s lower. So that actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm generally at 65%.
Yeah. So Susan's asking if I sold the Super Bowl 35 jacket. Yeah, I don't know which jacket that is. I have too much stuff I have no idea. Yeah, she's letting me do the outside. That's for sure.
Yeah, I don't do the outside. If Katie wasn't here to do it, I'd be hiring somebody to do it. Before it belonged, it was a job given to other people. So I don't do the outside stuff. Yeah,
shouldn't do the outside stuff. I should go like pick up some people at Home Depot and throw all the stuff at them and be like, do that.
Yeah. Yeah, your Etsy sales have been seriously doing awesome. I think that you can attribute that to actually having some good stuff up there, but also you've been paying for the promoted listings on Etsy.
I've been paying for the promoted listings. Have I. Yeah. I do think, I mean, of course, I have no experience with selling anything but men's vintage clothing on Etsy, so I really couldn't compare it to anything else. But I do feel like there's a pretty decent market there for men's vintage clothing and like sportswear and streetwear, because I do really well on, like, I sell a lot of stuff there.
I'm doing okay, but I didn't sell anything this week at all. I sold one thing on Etsy. So, and I'm paying the promoted listings as well. So I'm paying about $10 a day. So far, that has not realized into actual savings yet. And I've been doing that for about 3 weeks. So I'm gonna probably stop doing the promoted listings.
It's tough because with Etsy you're paying per click, and so you don't, with eBay it's like there's that, you have that, that warm fuzzy feeling that like, okay, I don't have to pay the promoted listing fees unless I sell it. So it's like, it's kind of like a win-win. It feels like a win-win.
Right.
However, it's like, depending on what you sell on Etsy, I'm paying 5 cents a click. So far it's coming out as a higher, and I do trending rates on eBay. And so far on Etsy, I'm paying higher than the trending rates on eBay on Etsy, but I'm selling things at a higher amount. My regular fees are lower. So I feel like it probably ends up being about the same. So it is working for me. So anyway, Christiane wants to know, did anyone watch Flippin' Hippo's video on returns? Her vent, not rant, her words. No, I haven't watched it.
No, but I will go and watch it now that you mentioned it.
But speaking
I haven't had a chance to watch very much.
Yeah. But speaking of, I did put a post up in the Boss Facebook group. So if you're in the Boss Facebook group, you should go check it out. I put a post up today asking people to kind of weigh in on eBay returns, what your thoughts are, what you think could be improved.
Not a bitch fest, but talk about the realities of returns.
The reality of returns, and really start talking about, because there are people from eBay that pay attention to like what we talk about. And so the more voices that kind of come in and that aren't just yelling, but are actually giving some constructive feedback and criticism and, you know, giving them maybe ideas for improvement. I don't know. But anyway, you should check that out. I also wanted to show, well, we got a couple of things. Why don't you tell people what this is? We got a package in the mail.
We got a package in the mail. It was very cute. It was addressed to Katie and the future.
It was Katie and Vicky, soon to be Zilberberg.
Yeah, it was cute. So that came from our friend Pam McAllister in Connecticut. Katie has not met Pam, but I have met Pam and hung out with her. And she's pretty fantastic and she's a lot of fun. She's a member of the Boss group. And so she sent us an ornament for one of the Christmas trees.
Look, it's a taco, you guys. It's a taco ornament. How cool is that? I love it. I love it. And then we had a visitor. So Dorothy, who's also in the Boss group and is often, I don't know if I've seen her over here yet, but she came by and because last week I had talked about my whole Sprezza box thing and how I love the tie clips that are in there. So she gave me this whole case of all these like old, like vintage tie clips, but like the old school kind that have like the little chain hanging off of them. And I got to show my favorite ones. This one's my absolute favorite. Look at it. It is the cutest. It's the cutest little snowmobile. And I actually took the backing off that had the chain attached to it and just put a regular backing on it. So I'm using this just as a pin. Because when I wear it, what I'll do is when I wear a tie, I like to wear a dress shirt. I like to put like a cool pin on my little collar. And then the other one that I really love, this one has like,
oh yeah, Dorothy's there. See me?
Oh, there she is. Has a little chain on it. This one is the other one that I really like a lot. It's a little old timey car. But the little snowmobile is my favorite. And Dorothy, I already wore the snowmobile. I wore it on Thanksgiving.
She wore it on Thanksgiving.
I wore it on Thanksgiving, and everybody thought it was the
cutest.
She
stopped by because I'm in another Facebook group that is basically about social media marketing and sharing. And it's a very small private group that Lorna runs. And we do a weekly contest that Dorothy has organized where it's a listing challenge, basically, a numbers challenge. And I won the drawing. And it was actually twice in the past couple of weeks I won, and I had never won before. So she dropped me off my little gift. And my gift is this really cool floor mat with all these floor mat for like your house.
Like a welcome mat.
Thank you. That was the word I was looking for. A welcome mat that has these little inserts in it for you changing out the seasons.
Yeah, it's really, really cool.
She sells them and she has a ton of them. And I love that. So I'm very excited. I like them. I was a winner.
All right. Should we get into our solds for the week? Yeah. I think we've got some cool stuff that we sold. Maybe some surprises in there. I think you guys will be surprised at some of the numbers we pulled out of some of this stuff.
Laura Scott's in there.
Laura, what's happening? I got a little song for you because it's in my heart when I think of Laura Scott.
You're ridiculous.
Look at that. All right, let me go ahead and do the screen share.
Laura is not an eBay seller. Laura is actually a friend of ours that we went to her fantastic 50th birthday party last week at this really great hotel here in Vegas called the Artisan Hotel. She had rented out the whole hotel for her friends and family to come in from all over the country. Yeah. And had a couple of rock acts in there.
It was really fun
and stuff. It was a really great party.
It was really, really fun. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and share the screen and you can get started and tell us about this one.
Oh, okay. So I had this one in my store for quite a while. I want to say it was probably at least a year. And as I've said before several times, vintage often will take some time to sell. Vintage, you definitely have to wait for the right buyer to show up. So this particular item sold for, why is that so blurry?
I don't know why it's so blurry. Go ahead.
Anyway, so this particular item, I want to say I probably spent about 15 bucks on it well over a year ago. And it sold for $75, which I'm fine with. It was on sale. But what I like about it, it sold internationally. And it was just under
What was that? Internationally.
Yes, I was singing. Anyway, it sold to Israel, maybe. I'm not entirely sure. But it was a really cool 70s hipster jacket.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It was just under 4 pounds. So it sold and they paid full shipping. And because I used Pirate Ship, I saved $14 on that one shipment on Pirate Ship.
Nice.
So I was pretty excited. So it was basically, I got $75 plus $14 and they paid for shipping. Had they purchased it at that price, $75, I had free shipping in the US. One more reason, one more example of why you want to sell your own items internationally and do your own international shipping.
Very, very cool. Yeah, I don't think, so we're seeing it's a little bit blurry here, but I don't know if anybody else is having an issue. I think it's like the feed on our end. Anyway, so let me just talk about my first one. This is this Patagonia Retro X Fleece jacket. Now I got like a bunch of different offers on this, but I kept, I would do counters and wasn't really sure, I figured I could get like a better price. And so I kind of held out for a long time. And then I had this guy in China that offered a couple of different times. And finally I accepted his offer. He offered 120. I went ahead and went with 120 because he was in China. So he's paying shipping and I was able to use Pirate Ship as well to be able to send that to him. So he paid shipping. Plus I saved a bunch with the simple export rate. So seriously, guys, these Patagonia fleece jackets sell so well. And this particular one, this Retro X Fleece, with this kind of, they call it a deep pile. See how it's like really fluffy and fuzzy and whatnot. These are super, super popular. And so seriously, 120 smackaroonies. 120. Not too shabby. All right, next one for you.
So again, this is one of those things I tell people, make sure that you go and check with the hair dryers and curling irons and blah, blah, blah. This was a brand that I showed you in the haul several weeks ago. It's probably been a couple months at this point. Sold for that price, $97.46. I maybe paid $3 or $4 for it.
Nice. And you had like a curling iron too at the same time, right?
It was a hair dryer and a
straightener. And I think the straightener sold within like a week or
something.
Yep,
and it sold for even more. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so Melissa Carver says, what criteria do you guys use to put best offer on an item in your store? For me, Melissa, I put best offer on everything. So I price my items to make room for best offers and for sales. I know what is your criteria?
I have best offer on almost everything in my store. So, yeah.
Yeah. Thrifty Chick, who do you use for international insurance for China? I use, I was using ShipSaver for a while when I would send stuff at, higher valued items. But I had a couple of problems with them, like 2 different times I had issues with them where I needed to get some customer service and they had the absolute hands down worst customer service. They basically, they outsource it to one of those, companies that does customer service, but it was literally like something I needed an answer on like now. I would wait like 2 days before I would hear back from them. And that just wasn't acceptable for, when you're trying to buy shipping, it's like you don't have 2 days to wait to hear back.
Yeah.
And so now what I do is I actually get my insurance through Pirate Ship. When I buy my label, you can check a box and request to add shipping onto it.
I'm not sure who they use.
I can't remember what company it is. I'll look it up when Vicky's talking about her next item. But I'll let you know which one it is. But it's built into the Pirate Ship platform. So
Pirate Ship does ship domestically and internationally. Yes.
Yeah.
All T3 products usually do well. All the ones that I have found. Let's put it that way. It's a high-end, expensive brand. So yeah.
Okay, so let me go to my next item. All right, I know I showed this in one of the hauls. This is actually something that I got at Savers, but it was new with tags. And this is an Alpha Industries. I've done really well selling Alpha Industries jackets. I had bought like a ton of them at Ross last year, and I sold all of them now. And so I found this ones, and they had it priced at like $31.49, but I got 25% off, but it was definitely worth that because it's new with tags. And it's just really cool. It's got like the full embroidered back and everything. And so I actually took an offer for this. I think the offer I took was 120 as well. So I sold this for 120. I paid like what, 20, a little over 20 bucks for it, and sold it for 120. So I think that's a pretty good return. And that's about it. I love getting these bomber jackets. The Alpha Industries, they used to do the ones for the military. I don't know if they still do military ones, but they started at some point like in the 70s or 80s to sell them to civilians as well. But they're the really nice, heavy quality ones. They're not like the crappy, cheap bomber jackets, a lot of the ones that come out now, because they're super trendy. All right, next one for you.
Okay, so this was a pickup at Savers. I'm sure that I paid, I think I showed this in a video, I'm not sure, but I think I paid somewhere around $7 or $8 for it. It's with the cheapo dolls. A lot of times I never ever skip over the doll section, even though most of the dolls there are the cheap made in China porcelain dolls that collectors pay a buttload of money for, and they have little to no resale value. They were very popular in the 90s and the early 2000s. Some people still sell them. QVC grandmas love them, but they're worth crap. This is an actual vintage doll from the 60s, which I recognized right away, and it was working. So I did sell it for this price that you see there. I paid $7 or $8. It was $117 was what it actually sold for. And again, I price my items high, knowing that they're going to go on sale, knowing that I'm going to accept offers. In this case, they didn't make an offer. They bought it at the sale price.
Yeah. So Liz O'Kane just answered the question that I was just looking for the answer to, was the shipsurance. The pirate ship uses shipsurance. I have not had to file a claim yet. So as soon as that happens, I will let you guys know like how that goes if I do have to file a claim, but so far I haven't had to. Donna wants to know, can you ship internationally listing both GSP and doing it on your own? So we learned, I think the last show when we talked about this, on different listings, you can have
well, you can choose one or the other
things, but you can't have like you couldn't list this doll and have the choice within one listing of GSP or direct international shipping. And to be honest, there's no reason for you to do that. It wouldn't really make, because from the buyer perspective, it's pretty much going to always be cheaper to have direct. So there's no reason to give them that option. But if you did want to have it in different listings, you know, some people might want to have their heavier stuff, which I don't really understand, whatever. I think either way, if you're better off just doing it all yourself. I don't really see.
But you can pick and choose based on the country, based on your listings. Each individual listing, you can pick and choose each one.
Mm-hmm.
The buyers won't get a choice. The buyers are either going to see GSP or calculated shipping international from you.
But I'm telling you, it's my mission in life to get everybody to do their own direct international shipping. It will give you an edge over other sellers, because I'm telling you, there's so many sellers out there that use GSP to sell, and it just makes the higher cost to your buyers. And there are a lot of international buyers out there that want to buy your stuff from you. All right. My next one is this Vans Disney collaboration. I think I showed this in the haul whenever I got it. It was like, I don't know, like a few weeks ago, a month ago. And I sold it today for $41.99. And I actually sold it, I think I sold to Canada because I saw that they paid for shipping, and it looked like it was about, Canadian shipping price. And so I actually sold this for $41.99. Shipping is paid for. I'm going to make a few bucks on top of that because of my discount through Pirate Ship. And yeah, stuff like this. It's not vintage, but it's just this really cool.
It's a
collab between Disney and Vans, both desirable labels. And so when I got this, I just thought, that's pretty cool. I've only had it up for a few weeks. So nice little turnaround on a used t-shirt, as some buyers like to say. It's used.
Still used. We have a new sub popping in there. Nana Snoop Shop. Marcy Kennedy.
That's quite the
Thanks
name.
for popping in. That's a long name. Thanks for popping in and watching, commenting.
Hip Flip and Mama wants to know if my international is all sent priority, or do you send first class international? No, listen, as far as speed goes, there really isn't much of a difference between priority and first class international. So anything under 4 pounds, you want to send first class international. It's going to be the cheapest way to do it. And Pirate Ship Simple Export Rate program, which gives you huge discounts on international shipping, is only for first class international. So it's going to be a drastically cheaper rate to send it first class International, and you can just add insurance to that. And it's pretty cheap to add insurance through the Shipsurance thing on Pirate Ship. All right, next up for you.
All right, so this is my jacket. Laura Franzica, if she's in here, she will remember me talking about this. But I purchased this when we were in Michigan. We went thrifting at a couple stores. And I'm looking at these photos. They're a little fuzzy. I don't know if I took them or Dana took them. Take note, Dana. But they look a little fuzzy from me here. Anyway, I sold this on a best offer. I paid $20 for it. I sold it for $140. And it did fit into not a padded flat rate mailer because I didn't want to smush it. It was too nice. But I did put in a Tyvek, not Tyvek, whatever, the vinyl mailer, just a mailer, flat mailer. And I shipped it using cubic shipping. So it did only cost me $8.45 to ship.
Crazy.
Yes, Laura's in there. This is the one I was supposed to keep, but I realized that I have about 50 jackets in my closet, and I rarely wear a jacket at all. And
Dana, I don't think the pictures look particularly fuzzy, so I don't really know what she's talking about. It could just be her.
There's a couple of them.
It could just be her old lady eyes.
Slave driver. Shut
up. So Karen said in your listing, do you state that you sell internationally yourself and not use GSP? It actually is in the listing. So if you're somebody, if you ever want to know what your listings look like, just go and change your location to like another country and you'll be able to see. And so it'll actually say, when you look at a listing, it'll actually say this is sent through the global shipping program. So for instance, many of our Canadian viewers right now can weigh in and back me up on this, that they'll see that GSP, and a lot of Canadians won't even buy from you if it says GSP because it does cost them a substantial amount more. Like as far as the fees that they charge, the customs fees. I don't know exactly what the rules are. I just know that the way it's set up, if you do it through GSP, it costs them a lot more money in fees. So there you go. All right, my next one. This is a big one, guys. Look at this Versace. Now,
is that like a Sanford & Son? This is the big one.
This is a big one, guys.
Big one, Elizabeth.
Now, this is not how much I sold it for, so just hold your horses. This one I listed super high. Now, this is what I'll do with something like this, where it's like something that I know is going to sell for a high dollar amount. I'll list it crazy high. I'll have it open to offers. And so, this is the one I got. I think I just shared this a few weeks ago. We went. It was one of our like last stops after an all day shopping spree at all the Savers. I actually had Vicky with me. They had this price. First of all, they had this priced at, was it $349 or $449? I think it was $349. I think it was $3. It was a crazy cheap price.
It was like $3 or $4 she paid for it. It was ridiculous.
I think I didn't pay more than $3 for it after my discount. Seriously, I saw this. I could not believe how low they had it priced. This is Versace Jeans Couture. Now, this is not like the Versace that costs like thousands of dollars. This is
this is the hundreds.
This is like their, I don't know how much it would have been. Originally, it might have been like $100.
It's like Armani Exchange versus Armani.
This is like their more casual streetwear brand line. This is from like the 90s. This was very much popular in the streetwear community, kind of like hip hop streetwear. So because Vicky was like, this must be fake, and I'm like, no.
Well, I thought it was fake because it looked super freaking tacky, to be honest with you.
But it's got like the huge spell out. It's really cool. Anyway, I had found, I think I'd found a couple of comps from other sites that I think one had sold for like $150. So I'm like, $500 price tag. It's on sale. And then I did an offers to watchers for $225. And I actually got an email the next day from a guy that was like, hey, I missed the window for that offer, but I totally would have snatched it up for $225. And so he offered me $225. I accepted. I sold that sucker for $225. I paid $3 for it, you guys. I paid $3. I paid $3 at $225. Just saying.
And Allison, I'm calling bullshit. Sanford & Sons, Elizabeth, must be before my time. Bitch, you older than me. So don't even try. I know people know the Sanford & Son. You people forget that we see the demographic of the ages of the people that watch this show, and our majority age demographic is 35 to 55.
Frenchie is sad that I sold this because she needed it for her rapping gig. If you guys haven't seen Frenchie bust out the raps.
Oh, you got to go find her. Find her on Instagram. She's so funny.
So
and YouTube.
Good. So good. Yeah, when I say my discount, I'm talking about if you go on Thursdays, it's 25% off of everything. Or if you,
I don't know, Martha said your senior discount.
Yeah, I know. Or if you buy a lot from them, you add up points, you get points, and then you can use those points to get 20% off. So we never buy for full price.
See, what is that? Squirrel Master, I think. Squirrel Master 34. You're bringing down our demographic. You're bringing down the age because we only have a few in the 30s, you know.
Yeah, we need some youngins. Come on, that's Squirrel Master. All right, next one for you. This one's an awesome sale.
Oh yeah, this one was pretty good. So this one, I just showed this on the haul video a few weeks ago, and I knew that this was almost exactly what it was going to sell for. I listed it high. There were a couple of other ones. I don't know why this guy is so popular, or why this figure is so popular. But in any case,
this is a movie. This is it was the Wachowski brothers.
I know what it is. I think an explanation for what it is.
You shut your mouth.
Most action figures in general that have been produced in the last 20 years have very little resale value because they're just so mass produced. Yeah. So, and this was not a higher end collectible. This was just an inexpensive action figure. So that being said, I checked the comps on it when I was in the store and I was like, what? Why is it so high? So I paid like $6 for it, and that's what it sold for. It sold for $77.96. It was first class shipping once I put it into a small box, and it has never been removed from the box, but it was it's from like 2006 or something like that, 2005. So it's not extremely old. It's from whenever the movie came out. Mm-hmm. And it sold. It sold pretty quickly. I think I had it listed a week, maybe 2.
Yeah. Nerd neckbeards love it. Yeah, because it's the, it's definitely.
See, we have some people in the 30s. Most of our watchers are going to be in their 40s and 50s. We do have some even higher. We probably, I think it's 15% of our viewership is over 55.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So next one for me, I got an Etsy sale here. So this is a Timberland sweatshirt. This sweatshirt was like in brand new, practically condition. It was really nice. Didn't really seem like it'd been worn at all. And I listed it pretty high. I think I had it listed on eBay for $99.99, but I do a lot of 30% off sales. So for those, I just list them here for $69.99 and sold it. It was only up for maybe a few weeks. Mm-hmm. So $70. And I think the fees on Etsy are like what, 3.5%?
I think it's 3%? Like 2.5%. It's even lower.
Really pretty low.
As opposed to 10 or 12% on eBay. So yeah.
Well, no, eBay's more like, ours are like 90%. And then you have to add the PayPal fees and stuff like that.
Right. But again, so yeah, 10 to 12 to 13% on eBay. You don't pay the PayPal fees.
But I think you do get a payment processing fee as well. No?
No.
Okay. Anyway, so yeah, Timberland, I mean, not all Timberland stuff is going to sell for a ton, but this one was a vintage sweatshirt made in the US. So got a good price on it. All right. What makes me decide? Are you asking me the prices? Because I cross post everything. So I listed this on eBay as well. So I don't decide. And then basically everything I buy to list on eBay. And then if it's vintage, in other words, 20 years old or older, then it also gets posted onto Etsy. So everything I have on Etsy is also in my eBay store. I do price things. I don't run sales on Etsy. And so I will price things. The initial price will be lower on Etsy, but a lot of times it sells for more on Etsy than it is on eBay, if that makes sense at all.
Neither one of us sell on Mercari, actually. No. It's just, nope. There's just not enough viewers on Mercari, as far as I'm concerned, for me to dedicate hours of my time listing on a third platform. There's not enough hours in my day. So I focus on eBay, and I do cross post some of my vintage items on Etsy. That's it.
And I will say, speaking of the payment system that they have on Etsy, Etsy uses the same company that eBay is using.
Is heading toward.
That eBay is using in their new managed payments program.
Aiden.
And so I will say that I actually love the payment system that they have on Etsy. I far prefer it over eBay. I like the way it's structured. I like the way they do it now. They now do it so that you don't have, it's not like you pay for your fees once a month. It basically has like a running balance. So it's so much better. And I'm hopeful that eventually when eBay completely switches over to the new program,
I'm hoping
it
they'll
will
do the
someday
same
be
thing.
the same way.
Yeah.
Because seriously, it's so much better.
So much easier because when you're actually making a deposit, that is all your money. You're like your fees are already out of there. You're not paying your monthly fees. It's pretty great.
It's really good.
No, neither of us sell on Poshmark either.
Man, eBay and Etsy, that's enough. I can only dedicate my time to 2 platforms. All right, next one for you.
So again, I talk about these Jemmy things all the time, right? I talk about buying vintage Christmas Jemmy and holiday Jemmy items. This dude sold for, I paid $6 for him. He doesn't even work 100%, and it sold for $101.
That's crazy.
$101 for a stupid thing that talks that goes on your wall at Christmas time.
Yep. Ridiculous.
So yeah, and if you scroll down and look at my description, you'll see his eyeballs don't move the way they're supposed to.
Yeah. Ears and eyes do not move. Yeah, Aspen Welch says, I love the Etsy checkout. Glad that's what eBay's doing. Yeah, you know, people worry about like the whole like, oh, it takes a while to get your payments. But seriously, I get money deposited in my bank account pretty much every single day, as long as I'm doing sales every day.
So Jemmy is the brand, G-E-M-M-Y. You guys asking in there, it's a brand that makes usually talking, singing things, whether it's for Christmas or Halloween or Easter, or just because they make these talking and singing things. They make like Frosty the Snowman things. They make all different kinds of things like that. And they have a very high resale value, especially if it's something that they made for a few years and they don't make it anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I really don't understand why they sell as well as they do, but they do.
Yep. Pretty much. All right.
And no, I did not use Jemmy in the title because it wasn't necessary for this particular one. I wanted to have what it was in the title more. The ones that had sold for the highest amount didn't use Jemmy in the title, and that's where I went after. And yes, they do make Billy the Big Mouth Bass. They were the original maker of that.
Did you have Jemmy anywhere?
I didn't actually. It looks like. Let me see. Maybe it wasn't Jemmy.
So I'm looking.
Maybe it wasn't Jemmy.
Maybe that's why you don't have it there.
It just right off the top of my head, it looked like something that was Jemmy. Maybe that was why I bought it, because I thought it was Jemmy.
I don't know.
Go back to that last photo right there.
I looked. You can't. It's not on there.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's why. I think it's Jemmy, but I wasn't 100% because it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, not labeled anywhere.
All right. So this one is going to be, I think you guys are going to be excited about this sale.
I showed Vicky, don't get this one.
I showed Vicky and she's like, what? Okay, so this is one that, now when I bought this sweatshirt, I wasn't like, oh, I'm going to buy this. I'm going to sell it for $100. I bought this just because it was vintage. And I saw that it was from, let's see, it says on here, 1991. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know anything. It's got like, look at this. It's got a hole in the sleeve. It's pretty worn out. You can see it's pretty faded. I had no clue what it was. I just knew it was a vintage 90s based on this jersey's tag and the fact it says 90s.
I don't
get it. When I got it home and I looked it up, I literally paid maybe $2 for it. I looked it up and it turned out it's from it's 1991 Skull Cup Scottish League football, whatever. And it's like some sort of, they were the winners.
They were the winners.
And it's like, it's like this big like soccer thing, right? This big national soccer
sporting thing.
Whatever. It was a cup. It was like a cup. They were the winners of the Skull Cup. And so I was like, you know what? Could be worth a lot of money. I don't know. It's from 1991. So I just put a big price tag on it. And that's what I do. I'm telling you guys, it's something I'm like, there's nothing else out there like it. This is really cool. There's going to be somebody who's like a huge fan. I priced it $99.99. And guess what? It went to the UK. So not only did they pay $100, they also paid like $22.50 to have it shipped over there. I used Pirate Ship. I saved money there. Didn't have to pay the shipping myself. Made a ton of money. That's what I gotta say.
That's
money. I made some money. Woo! All right. Anyway, I was excited.
Caffeine just kicked in.
Yep. All right. There you go.
All right. So this was something, I don't know if I talked about this in the haul video or not.
You did, because you hadn't up here yet.
Yeah. So I talked about it in the haul video. And by the time I talked about it, I had already sold it. So I purchased this for, I believe it was $7.99, and then I had 20% off of that. So $5 or $6. Oh, see, David Beckham was on that
team.
There you go. That's what Google will do for you. Anyway, this I listed super high, And then I saw that there were a couple of others. There was one other one that was for sale, and it had crappy photos and a really bad description. And they were charging like $38 for shipping and blah, 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 blah. So I listed mine a lot higher than theirs. And I took an offer the day after I listed it because it rolled into a sale that I had going on. So that shows the $375 was the sale price, 25% off. It rolled into a sale, but I think I probably could have gotten more for it if I held out. Yeah. I took an offer on it for $355. I paid about $5 for it. So I was pretty happy. Shipping cost me, I think, $13.
Yeah. So Chris says, are you suggesting Allison didn't just have that knowledge up in her head already? Because you said that's what Google will do? Yep, pretty much.
That's exactly what I'm suggesting.
Okay, so Sandy wants to know, when you don't know anything about it, how do you know how to price it? Okay, so this is I said it a little bit, but this is how I approach this stuff. Okay, so I knew it was vintage, 100% knew it was vintage. It was from 91. So I'll buy stuff like this, something sports related. And if I buy something like this and there's nothing else out there available for it, and I'm looking at this, and this is national football, soccer, European soccer. If there's anything more ridiculous and rabid than our football fans in the US, it is international soccer fans and like European soccer fans, football or whatever. They are crazy about their sports. So to me, something like this could potentially be super rare. I don't know that for sure, but I will try it out, and it doesn't hurt to try. And I know, Sandy, you're one, you say, you are too nervous to try to price stuff high. You should just go for it.
No, she does. I've looked at Sandy's store.
She's talked about it. She's talked about it.
She gets paralyzed on trying to figure out what pricing is. Just go for it. There's a question in there from DJ on free shipping. When doing a refund, do you refund full amount or subtract shipping cost? Here's the thing. If you are offering free shipping and someone sends something back, you are obligated to refund the entire amount they paid.
Yeah, you cannot
hold back your shipping cost. So yes, that is absolutely true.
Yep. All right. So,
and that's a Scottish soccer team, not a European soccer team. Katie, drummer said.
Well, whatever. They're over there.
Geography, sportsing, whatever.
Scotland's part of Europe. Am I incorrect in saying that? They're over there. I'm sorry, what?
They're over there.
Scotland isn't in Asia. They're European. That's all I'm saying, is they're not American. They're of the continent of Europe. I'm pretty 99.999% sure of that. I'm terrible at geography, but yes.
And the cookie jar was at Savers. I believe the sweatshirt was as well, because Katie doesn't source very many places other than Savers. Neither one of us do, actually.
So Enrique wants to know, do you still look for comps, or do you price by knowledge? A little bit of both, because let me go into this next one and I'll show you. So I got these, this is a twofer, because this is actually the same buyer bought both of these t-shirts. So I bought this t-shirt.
Scotland's in the UK.
Well, I understand that, but the UK is not a continent. Europe is a continent. The UK is like a collection of countries.
Okay.
Anyway, that are within Europe, which is a continent. Anyway, this is a vintage t-shirt from the 90s when they had that whole obnoxious, what's up? Yeah, thank you.
It's really obnoxious.
Yep, still obnoxious. So I bought this and I'm like, I'll get this t-shirt. Same thing with this other t-shirt. I bought this, and you know what? Almost as soon as I bought this, I was full of regret, because I'm like, I don't think this is really, I bought it because it was a vintage t-shirt, but I'm like, there's other ones. It's not, meh. Isn't anybody really going to want these? And then I looked at the comps for the What's Up t-shirt. First of all, if you look up What's Up t-shirt, there are literally hundreds of them. Not all of them are vintage, but when you look at the vintage ones, they're priced at like $12, $15. So how full of regret was I? Very full of regret. Then of the hundreds that are listed, and you look at solds, there's like 10 that are sold. So it's not a good sell-through, guys.
It's not a good buy.
But I priced all my t-shirts to sell at $29.99, basically. Actually, on eBay, I priced them at $39.99. When they go on sale, they're usually at like $27.99. I literally had this listed for like a few weeks, and the same person in Australia bought the What's Up t-shirt. Oh, that's actually in Antarctica.
Geography and thrifting.
Yep. Anyway, So this actually sold for $29.99. The same person bought this other beer shirt for $29.99. They paid for shipping. So they basically paid me like $100 for these 2 T-shirts to ship them to Australia.
That are worth next to nothing.
Yeah, so I actually lucked out big time because I had no business selling this T-shirt for $30. All right, I'm going to take this off of the screen share. But seriously, I totally
no business.
They're terrible, horrible T-shirts, and somehow some dude in Australia decided I want both those T-shirts, and I'm willing to spend $100 to get them here. So I don't know what happened there. But yeah, generally, we talked about this before. We'll look at comps, but a lot of times I'll price higher because I really do feel like, now this is actually a bad example because those are terrible T-shirts and they should not have been priced so high.
You should not have purchased them.
No, but there are other examples where people will underprice things, and I easily will get, like, for instance, that Vans Disney shirt. There were other ones out there and they were not selling for $42, but I sold mine for $42 plus shipping to go to Canada. So people underprice stuff all the time.
Don't drink and shop on Etsy. Let's move on, mate. That's true. Very true.
Yeah, pretty much.
So let's see. Melissa Carver asked a question way back there, and I think Chris got it. But basically, I think the reason we both get so many international sales is because we don't use GSP. So our shipping comes across as cheaper, and we don't have any restrictions on where we ship to, where a lot of people do put restrictions. And Katie's vintage stuff appeals to people internationally. I sell a little bit less than she does internationally, but I still do a brisk international business.
There is a very big market for vintage streetwear overseas, really big. So, I mean, I sell a lot of it, and a lot of my higher dollar items go internationally.
Yeah, my vintage stuff sells very well international, and that's the majority of my stuff that does go vintage, does go international. It's going to be vintage men's and women's. That whole pinup rockabilly vintage look, that look is extremely popular, especially in the UK, actually. In Australia and other places in outside of the United States, is popular here, but it's even more popular there.
Yeah.
So a lot of the things that I sell that I would buy myself, that if I could wear, or if I can't wear them, size-wise, whatever, I buy things that I find are interesting because I know what they sell for, because that's a style of clothing that I purchase myself, and I know how expensive it is.
Well, and here's the thing, it's like trends, I'm sure there are some trends that are somewhat different in other countries, but a lot of them are pretty universal. And so, like, right now, the 90s vintage streetwear is super popular. And I could be totally wrong. I could just be making this up, but, like, we could ask our friend down under, Linda Painter, to clue us in on this. She's in Australia. I'm guessing that they just aren't as readily available in thrift stores in those countries because maybe they just weren't as widely available when they originally came out. So they're not going to be getting thrown away and like donated as much. So whereas here, a lot of this stuff is a little bit slightly, if you're somebody who's really into vintage streetwear here, it's a really big, community, or there's like a lot of young guys who go thrifting all the time just for themselves because they want to find those cool fire pieces that they want to cop at the thrift store to wear themselves. But if you're one of those guys who's really into vintage streetwear in Australia or in the UK or in these other countries, they may not be as something that you could just go out and like hope to find and run across in the thrift shop.
Oh my God, we are running at 2:53 already. We haven't even started our haul. Let's get moving. Let's get cracking.
How many of you guys are crying about this right now?
Stop it asking every single time. It doesn't matter. I got stuff to do. I can't do 2-hour shows every time.
Okay, so you went to One Savers on Friday. Yep. And then we both went to one last night. Almost all of the stuff that I am showing is just from what I got last night. There are a few items that were from last week that I didn't get a chance to show, so we'll get into that. But we're gonna get into our haul. And you got, speaking of nerds,
I got some
speaking of nerds and geeks, you got some stuff right here.
Yeah.
Yep.
So one of the things that I don't really look at is I don't look at video games for the most part. I don't know which ones are popular. I don't know which ones have good resale value. I generally just ignore that entire section of a store or garage sale. It's just not my thing, right? I don't really know video games. So my kids weren't allowed, my kid was not allowed to own video game systems. I didn't have them in my house growing up. My brother had the Nintendo 64 originally, and we had an Atari, but I never played them. I still don't. It's just not my thing, right? So
That was so judgmental.
No, it's just not. So anyway,
it's just not my thing.
It's not.
It's not my thing.
So one thing I will look at though is old PC video games, because old PC video games, while most of them you'll find have very little value, some do still have value with collectors because they haven't been remade elsewhere. So what I did find was I just picked the best of them here. They were all priced at $2.99 each, and I got 20% off of that. And they're all new in their original packaging and still sealed. So I picked up a couple of them. So this is one here. Every one of these showed pretty high on Amazon, and I may actually sell them on Amazon and just do merchant fulfilled. I have not looked at the pricing on eBay yet, but most of these, like, you know, RPG games, they do sell pretty well. This was one I did not find. I've got to look this one up a little bit better, but they're all new and they're all complete. And a lot of these you don't find, you know, redone in other formats.
Guys, I was super excited when I saw this one because this is a game I actually had and played back in the day. So I was super excited. And she immediately was like, you don't get to play it.
No. But some of these have the original prices of $50 on them and they're 20 years old. So I mean, $50 20 years ago was a lot of money.
Yeah.
So I
go ahead.
What?
Oh, I was going to say, DJ had a question. Would you mention Tom Cruise's name on the listing of a Mission Impossible 3 movie track style jacket? So here's the deal. The only time you can use Tom Cruise's name, this is according to the rules of eBay, if you don't want to get your stuff pulled, it has to have literally been used in the movie Mission Impossible 3. Or if it's like a jacket that they put out, like sometimes, you know, they'll have like on the tag, it'll be like, oh, Mission Impossible 3. Otherwise, you are keyword spamming, and that is against the rules on eBay, and you can get your stuff pulled. I will say when I'm selling vintage stuff on Etsy, sometimes I'll put in, because you can, you know, pick like keywords. So for instance, if I'm selling a gray members only cafe racer jacket,
you may put
I'll put stranger things in my keywords. I don't know what the rules are about that for Etsy, because the whole point of keywords is you're supposed to put stuff in there that people might search to find your item. And so that particular jacket is just like the jacket that he wears, a members only gray jacket in the show. And so I'll put that in the keywords on Etsy, but on eBay, it is against the rules to put that in your title, to put that in your description, unless it was literally used in the movie or put out by the movie and licensed by the movie.
Yeah.
So,
yep. All true. So one of the other things there was, Jennifer said, our systems now make it crap to play. I agree, but real hardcore gamers actually keep older computer systems just to game on. A lot of them do, and that's why you will find that vintage computers sell well for that reason. Vintage computers sell well specifically for gaming and coding.
Yeah.
So I know a little bit about nerd culture, a little bit.
So let me just tell you a little story about what nerds do when they want to play their special nerd games or their special nerd machines.
Yeah.
They get themselves an old nerd machine. They keep it going so they can play their nerd games on it. You know what I'm saying? Nerds.
Ridiculous.
Jennifer's a nerd. Just saying.
Yep, Jennifer's a nerd. It's all right. I like nerds. Clearly, I'm gonna marry one. And this one, I wish Mandy Kennett was in here. I'm actually going to end up contacting her about this one. But this little guy, it's not that little. I picked him up with the real ugly doll section too. But this is a vintage mohair teddy bear. And he's pretty well loved and missing his eyeballs. He probably had glass eyeballs.
You might want to go get an appointment at Hair Club for Men.
Yep, he's spotty. He's definitely well loved. He also has what's considered a humpback. So he's got a curved back, and inside he has what's called a growler. And basically, it's non-working. It's just a hard thing inside that when you would tip them over, they'd go. Rawr.
Did you just call it non-working?
Yeah.
All right.
It's a non-working growler. It's still there. And he has velvet paw pads. I don't know who put this little sweater on him, but it's cute. And he's articulated, so his legs and his neck and his arms move. But I'm going to contact some Mandy Kennett, who is a resident bear expert, and see if she knows a little bit more about maybe who made him or where his origins are. That's going to make a difference in how much I sell him for. But I paid, you can see the little tag right there. I paid $8 because it was 20% off. And I'm thinking conservatively without any research, at least $75. But And yes, Chris, he is articulated. He's not articulate. He's articulated.
Yep. Jennifer, I need to know, did you play King's Quest? Please answer in the chat. Did you play King's Quest? I want to know that. Is it my turn?
Yeah.
Okay. And let's look at some jackets. This is one. Well, this first jacket is actually one that I got a couple weeks ago, and I needed to wash it, so I don't think I showed this in any of the hauls. But I've talked about this before. Stuff like this, any kind of computer type stuff, and or YouTube isn't really a nerd thing, but it's like a computer companies and stuff. This is a YouTube jacket, and this. I can pretty much guarantee that this was probably for somebody who actually worked for YouTube, as opposed to just stuff that because you can go and buy like YouTube branded stuff right now. But this company right here, Port Authority, this is what like different companies will use to make like clothing for their employees, for their staff. And so I would say this is a nice soft shell jacket. It says YouTube. I think you were saying if it was your size, you would want to steal it from me. I'm trying to figure out if this is a women's or a men's. I don't know. It might be women's. I only think that because look at the top. It goes over this way, this little top thing.
I can't wear a medium.
Yeah, I don't know. So I got to figure that out. But I should be able to sell this for like.
The chest is a little bit too large for a size medium anything. Sorry.
Yeah, she hasn't got medium boobs.
Neither do you.
Nope. So I should be able to sell this for, I would say like 40, 50 bucks. It's a really nice soft shell jacket. And nice little embroidered.
We have 175 people watching right now. Is that our most? That might be the most. 175 live.
It might be.
We've been in the 160s, but 175.
Yeah. Oh. Hey, you guys, 175 people out there. Maybe a couple of you could give us a thumbs up if you're enjoying the show, or if you're not enjoying the show, give us a thumbs down. Later on, I'll cry into my pillow about it. But anyway, my YouTube jacket.
Oh, there's a ton of old school eBay merch for sure.
Yes, there is. I actually found like a really cool, like it was a cool eBay jacket a couple weeks ago at one of the savers, but it had like this weird, like it was like some sort of weird black coating. It was like a black jacket that was like coming off and making it all sticky. So it's like, yeah, so I couldn't get it, but it was like the old eBay logo. Otherwise, I would totally have got it.
I have some old stuff. I mean, I have some old eBay power seller coffee mugs that are old school, and yeah, I have some old eBay merch. I actually had the eBay Christmas house, the big, huge eBay Christmas house that they made many, many years ago that I actually gave to Teresa last time she was visiting because
Teresa, it was so cool.
It's like this big and it lights up and
yeah, well, when we're there next week, it probably is going to be where we're staying. So we'll have to see if we can show it on the show because it's super cool.
Because it's very, Teresa is,
there she is,
loves eBay more than anybody I know. So I was like, it's just collecting dust on a shelf. You can have it. She'd appreciate it more.
Hey, Teresa. So Teresa was just saying that she has a bunch of the old logo eBay swag. Are we getting any of the stuff that you're putting in our swag boxes? Any of it, the old school stuff?
1998, I'm not sure what they had back then that far as swag. I have some swag as old as 2000 and 2001, but I don't have anything.
Well, she's talking about the game King's Quest back in 98.
I thought she was talking about eBay.
I think she's talking about me. Anyway.
Okay.
All right, next thing I got, and I might need some help on this, guys. So this is a really nice wool leather varsity jacket. It's in really nice condition. I was super stoked because it was only priced at $14.99. And I used a 20% off coupon. A lot of times they'll price these a lot higher, but these sell, it doesn't even really necessarily matter what it is because they will sell for a decent price no matter what, whether it's for high school, college. Obviously, if it's something known, it can go for a lot more. So this is my whole thing. It's got a G on the front of it. It's green and yellow. And then on the back, it says Greystone. So I'm just trying to figure out like what this is from. I looked up Greystone. Now this
Green
says
and gold. This could be anywhere in the country as a high school.
I know, right? And I looked at, if you look at the tag, it's made in the US. It's like, I'm trying to show it. It says Union made in the US. I don't think you can really see it, but it's definitely vintage. Now, the only Greystone I was able to find was this like prep school military prep thing, but it wasn't vintage. Like it's within like the last 10 years or so.
It could be a high school that doesn't exist anymore.
So yeah, green and gold, guys. I got to figure out what Greystone is so that I can price that, because you know these can sell depending on what they are. They can sell upwards of $100 or more. So it just depends. Sweet.
Oh, that one's cute.
I think this one's funny. And I think this is one of those things where it's like it's so specific that it's going to have a specific market of people.
Oh, yeah.
That it could sell actually for a decent amount. It's just a sweatshirt. It's not vintage. It's supposed to look like an ugly Christmas sweater, but it says, don't be tacky. What does that mean?
Tachycardic.
Tachycardic. So it says, don't be tacky. And it's like a tacky Christmas sweater.
Just means a high heart rate.
High heart rate, but it's like it's actually from emergency medical technician paramedic. So it's like an EMT thing. And so it's got like the little heart rate thing going on here. And you see the reindeer are pulling the ambulance. So it's pretty cute. I think this will definitely sell. Maybe I'll be able to sell it for like $30, I think.
Yes, Castle. I think that's Gray Skull. Castle Gray Skull, not where He-Man lives.
Camp Greystone. That'd be pretty awesome. Diana Dunlop just gave us $10 super chat and said, have a rootin' tootin' Christmas, y'all. Rootin' tootin'.
Y'all?
Yeah, rootin'. She didn't say y'all, but
y'all.
I added the y'all because she said rootin' and tootin'. Super chat, super chat, super chat all the way. Oh, what fun it is to super chat in a super chat and slay. Hey! Rootin', tootin'.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Diana. We appreciate it.
See, we've got another Australian popping in from Australia. It's too warm here to be in the Antarctic. Greystone with is it EY or AY?
It's EY.
EY. Ooh,
yeah, it was EY.
Even more specific.
Yeah. So not really sure. I'm still trying to figure that out.
Full of French.
Here's the thing. If I can't find the answer, what I'll do is I'll list it, put a high price tag on it, and then somebody's eventually going to message me and tell me what it is.
That's true. People do that.
It usually happens.
Mm-hmm.
So Barb says it looks like Greystone's an online store. Yeah, but that jacket's not. I promise you that jacket is vintage.
No. That jacket is like pre-70s. It looks actually late 50s, early 60s in my opinion, but it's definitely not.
I wouldn't say that. I'd say it's more likely 80s in my opinion, but it's got like it doesn't look that old. But anyway, bottom line, it's definitely not anything that's within the last 20 years.
Older than 80s. I'm going to argue with you on that.
All right.
That's where you stay is always 80s.
I'll check it out, Barb, but it definitely predates the internet as far as us using it.
Yeah, I'm with you, Allison. Canadian or English because of the spelling. So
yeah,
that's true.
All right. Do you want to show something?
Yeah.
Go for it.
So again, I found a lot of Christmas stuff and I like my vintage Christmas stuff. This is not super old vintage, but these are new in the box. And these are like from the late 70s, mid to late 70s. They're the bubble lights.
Oh man, we always had bubble lights on our tree. I love the bubble lights.
So I got 2 boxes and I paid 80 cents a piece for the boxes. And they appear to be new. I haven't tested them yet. I will plug them in and test them. But yeah, they're new. They're still in the containers. And these are definitely 70s. So definitely had these in my house when I was young.
Well, those are like little tiny ones.
Yeah, these are smaller.
Yeah, because we would always have the big ones.
The bigger ones sell for a lot more, but these still sell pretty solidly. And I'll sell these probably for about maybe $50 or $60 for the set for each. Like not each, just total. The big ones sell for more because the big ones are more from the 50s and 60s. So the older ones sell for a lot more.
When we go to my parents, should we steal them?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I know the difference. These are made in Taiwan, ROC. So these are the 70s. They're not the 50s. So they're from the 70s though. They're not the originals. I know what I'm looking at, Teresa. But yeah, these are still collectible. They're not they're made in Taiwan and stuff. So late 70s, I would say, because these are the kind that I had on my tree when I was a kid. But they still sell anywhere. Some of them are selling for $30 or $40. I'll probably list them for like $50 or $60 for both boxes.
Ooh, Greystone Adult School, Folsom State Prison. Interesting. Big drift. I mean, what's a bubble light? Must be before my time.
Yeah, sure. All right, and back to the whole Jemmy thing I talked about before.
This is legit Jemmy?
This is a legit Jemmy. So This one is in the package. I'm actually gonna end up taking it out of the package so that I can put batteries in it, and I'll put it back in, and clean it. It's a little dusty, like someone had it on a shelf somewhere, maybe in their garage, and it got all dusty and grimy. So I'll clean it and put it back in and take some pictures. But anyway, this is the dancing, singing, swaying flower pot, and this sells probably about $50. I paid $4.
What does it sing? In the mood. That seems inappropriate.
I'm in the mood for love. That one.
Yeah.
It sings,
Cute.
it sways. I love all the Jemmy stuff.
Cute and creepy.
Yes, it's ridiculously tacky. Ha, Chris spelled tacky funny. So that's them. And then I'll talk, I get a couple of clothing haul items, but I will talk about my one other item that's not clothing that I loved that I picked up.
Ooh.
So I paid up for this one a little bit. I did pay $16 for this because it was $20, but it is a vintage Scottish plaid blanket. It still has the tag on it.
So you're saying it's European?
So it's from the 60s, and it's mohair, and it's made in Scotland, and it's this big throw blanket. And it's really nice. It's greens and browns and
I think it's really cool.
So these sell pretty well. They sell about $50 or $60 when the listing is done properly, when they're used. This one still has the cardboard tag on it. I'm pretty safe to say this is dead stock, new. So I'm going to list this for about $100.
Nice. I love it.
Yeah. Okay, you can go.
All right. So this I'm really excited about because, like, man, sometimes we talk about how, thrift stores in general and like Savers will price stuff really super high. Just kind of depends on what it is. Usually I feel like their prices are okay because if you know what you're buying, then you're going to make some money on it. It's usually not overpriced. Although some of the shoes and stuff that they put behind the counter, those are the ones that like, you're like, really guys, come on.
Yeah, right. Like your the Nikes that were $30 brand new and they're beat to shit and they're priced back there for $40.
And I feel like they almost always
smoking the crack.
They almost always have any jerseys behind the counter. They hardly ever put like real jerseys out. And so when I saw this, I was like, what? So this is a jersey. It's a nice sewn one. They priced this at $6.99. So I got 20% off of that. So what this is like a reproduction, like a throwback of the Grays, which were it was called the Negro League. The Negro League, it's like the baseball league from back in like the 20s and 30s and 40s, or let me see.
I think 20s and 30s.
This one's from 1929 to 1948, the Homestead Grays. So this is officially licensed by the Negro League's Baseball Museum. And so this particular one has sold for as much as $150. Number's 20. I can't remember the name of the player that had this number.
If it's not Scottish, it's crap. Sorry. Curse of that one.
I was thinking that too. Anyway, so I bought this. I mean, I paid like $5 for this.
Mm-hmm.
And they had this out on the floor. $150, guys. I can probably sell this anywhere for $100 to $150. It's been sold. It's been undersold before, but when you look at the history of sales on this, $100, easy $100, maybe $150. So any of this stuff, these like throwback jerseys, when you see, like, you can see right here, it has like the
Allison showing her age again.
Yeah.
Damn, son, that's fire.
So I'm excited about that.
Susan, we look forward to our Sunday afternoons with you guys.
Yeah,
for sure. Barb, I will look up and see if I can find the Scottish family tartan. Thank you. I will see if I can find the colors and get the family name to put in my listing.
I also found this sweet sweatshirt vest. This is a vintage Reebok. This was only priced at $5.99. So I got 20% off of that. I haven't looked this up, but I should be able to sell this for like $25, $30. Nothing crazy, but it's pretty cool.
The player was Josh Gibson. You would have found that before you listed it.
Well, I had already seen it. I just didn't remember in my head because I didn't look it up when I bought it just because it was so cheap. There was no point. And then I actually got two of these. This is just a pullover hoodie, Honda hoodie. Yeah, I'll be able to sell this for $25, 30, probably $30, the holidays. But I got two of these. I think somebody got rid of a bunch of their Honda stuff because I saw a bunch of other stuff that wasn't worth picking up. But I got these two hoodies. And then I was really look at how fast I'm moving through these.
You are.
What?
And I still have a bunch.
What? Oh, I have a bunch left. So this, first of all, it's so soft. Feel it.
It's very soft.
It's soft like butter. This is actually a women's, I would assume. I'll have to look up the style number on it. But this is a really
it's got a little stretch to it.
Adidas Originals pullover hoodie. Now Adidas Originals is like their higher end stuff because they do design stuff to sell at different levels. And Adidas
if I were to, you know,
what
actually wear sweatshirts, I might actually wear something like this.
Yeah, it's really nice. It's so soft. But it's, you know, the Adidas Original stuff is usually like a little bit better quality. It's got little added things to it, and the trefoil, it's really popular.
It's a very nice shape. Like, doesn't feel washed very much or worn very much at all.
And then great thing about Adidas is that they'll actually have a tag that dates it on the inside. So this one is from 2016. You can see that 16 right there. And then you see this number where it says AY was at 6631. Those are actually there's two different numbers there, but I think it's the first number, the AY6631 is actually the style number. So you can go ahead and Google that and you'll be able to see exactly what it is.
Google that.
You can Google that. You can see exactly what it is, although it's pretty self-explanatory. It's Adidas Originals hoodie. Super soft. Love it. Love the little, like, look at that. How cool is that? So I'll have to look it up, but I should be able to sell it for at least 50. Yeah, I would say the same. And over to you.
And over to me. Again, so I didn't buy too much this week, but what I did buy was super quality. So I did pay up for quite a few of them. So this is a little bit of an older Cole Haan jacket. So it's Cole Haan, and I don't normally pick up Cole Haan. I don't pick up their shoes unless they're new, that type of thing. They do sell well, but they're not a huge dollar amount. So it's Cole Haan. I paid $20 for this. But this is a super soft.
Speaking about soft, it's buttery.
Lambskin buttery blazer in fantastic condition. And I'm thinking I can sell this for about $150. There have been some that have sold really cheaply, and I think that's a mistake on their part because some of the other ones have sold high, especially the ones that were listed new. This is not new, but there's nothing wrong with it. And it's in a great, like, rich brown leather. And it's so buttery soft. Like if this were like a normal leather jacket in my size, I would love to have it. So I just want to keep touching it. It's soft.
Yeah. Clark West Trading, when the clothing is dated, do you put the date in the title of the listing or in the description? No, not really. It's nice to know. It's just like, I just like knowing when it came out. If it's like something that came out last year, if it's something that came out in 2003.
No, I would not be steaming a leather jacket, Allison.
No. Also, Allison said, okay, bring on the ski tee. It's because she had posted a really cool ski, I think it was a sweatshirt yesterday, like a vintage sweatshirt. And so I had said that, or this morning, and so I had said that I had found like a really cool ski t-shirt. So I will be showing that in a little bit. So she's trying to hurry us along because she's a jerk.
Yes, I only have 4 more things total.
Okay.
So, okay, so this is another really nice jacket. Again, I don't mind paying up for something if I'm going to get a really good price on it. And the jackets that I picked up this week, I did pay up for, but I'm going to be getting a very good return on them. So this I paid about $12 for, and this is by a company called Peruvian Link. It's alpaca.
Alpaca.
Yeah, so if you look at this, their sweaters sell super well. So I've sold every sweater I've ever purchased.
Is there a difference between alpacas and llamas? Because they look a lot alike, right?
Yeah. So she
doesn't care.
I don't know. I don't care.
She's gonna pretend like she didn't even hear me because she's rude.
Because you interrupted me. I don't know the answer to that.
It was a really important question.
I don't give a shit. It sells well. That's all I care about. Alpaca sells better than wool. All right. Anyway, any slower, I'd be going backwards. Yeah, thanks,
Shut
Allison.
your mouth, Allison. Shut your mouth.
Anyway, I picked up this jacket, and this is a really thick, very nicely made jacket. I'm going to sell this for about $140. That's one. It's just a really nicely made jacket. And this one I picked up last night. This one was priced cheaply, I think. So this one I paid $10 for. And this is vintage pioneer wear. It's something that people see frequently, I think, or semi-frequently. I've sold leather jackets. This is vintage 70s. Look at that great braiding inside.
Pioneer wear is one of the few brands I will get blazers like those Western blazers, because they always sell and they sell really well and for a pretty good amount.
So this is just a suede, vintage 70s, like suede and leather jacket with these great leather wrapped buttons. And it's just so hippie 70s, right?
It's awesome.
And I paid about $10 for this. And I'm going to list it for about $150.
Mm-hmm. It is true love when you know each other. Erin is so right.
Is that what it is?
Is that what it is?
Okay, you can go. I only have 2 more, so.
I have 2 more. Also, what did I want to say? I wanted to say something. So Teresa she really wants you guys to send in headshots, because for some reason, Teresa, it makes her cringe that she's up. It makes her feel weird that she's up on the wall and she sees herself every time she watches our show now. So Teresa and Frenchie need friends. We need to get some more headshots, or, if you want to send me a glossy 8x10 of you eating a taco, I'm totally into that. Maybe an 8x10 of you hanging out with your cat, totally into that. Whatever you want to send.
We need to hang up that cat photo.
We do. We need to hang that up. Anyway, so let me go and show you a few things. We're getting to the ski tee.
I think Tommy Bahama has been oversaturated far longer than Ryan and Allie have even had a YouTube show. I have to be honest with you.
What's that?
Tommy Bahama has been saturated for years, and they've only been doing YouTube for less than 2 years. So it's.
Yeah, I don't think it has anything to do with them. The thing with Tommy Bahama is that it's a super popular brand for like
middle-aged fat guys,
older like dudes with money,
middle-aged fat guys.
Well, yeah, but I think middle-aged, I think like 40s, 50s, but it's like older too. But also, it's very widely available in what are the stores? It's like super widely available in like, I think it's like, is it Macy's or Kohl's or I don't know what?
Not Kohl's, but it's in a lot of the other brands.
So it's super.
Hey, you know what? My ex-husband liked Tommy Bahama. So DJ, I'm sorry I missed that question. Do you guys know how local pickup works on eBay? Yes, cash only. They don't pay through PayPal. You have them pay you in person when they pick up the item, and then you just mark it off as paid. That's it. You don't need to put a tracking number because it's cash. The only time you need a tracking number or proof of delivery or anything like that is to protect you for PayPal. In this case, they're paying cash. They're protected. You're protected. It's a mutual agreement.
Yeah.
Cash in hand.
So David Ocean says Costco is where they have it. So it's like, the thing is, it's saturated because it's literally saturated because it is everywhere. So there's so many Tommy Bahamas like available to buy new, and it gets donated to the thrift stores all the time. It's not like a exciting thing to find. So
people talk about not being able to it messing up your shipping metrics or all this kind of stuff. Just don't accept PayPal and don't give PayPal for a pickup only transaction. That's it. Don't worry about it. You just want to do cash upon pickup. Whether you're the seller or the buyer, it doesn't matter. Once you pick up something, you have no protection. So your item that's in front of you, or that you're giving or selling, the buyer has to approve that item is what they want before they hand over the cash. There's no secrets involved. So there's no chargebacks. There's no nothing. There's no returns. It is what it is. It's an old school way of doing business, people. But you don't want to accept PayPal. You just put down that you can check off that it's been that cash in hand.
Okay, so I've been selling tons of cardigan sweaters. They're super, super popular right now. You can sell them for quite a bit. And this one I picked up, it has no tag anywhere inside of it. So there's no brand to go along with it. But how cool is this? I don't know how well you can see it. Okay, the color's gonna be kind of hard to see, but it's this really cool yellow, and it's like argyle.
I am dating this as 50s all day long.
Yeah, so this I'm thinking 50s, even though it has no tag in it. And then what did you call? There's a style, because if you look really close,
it's a boucle knit.
It looks kind of like terry cloth.
It's almost like a boiled wool if it were wool, but it's not. It's a boucle knit.
Boucle. So I've never heard of that before. That's where I'm like
BOUCLE.
Yeah, so I'll have to ask her again when I actually get to listing it. But how cool is this? So what would you sell this for?
I would list this for $100.
I mean, I'm gonna have to look it up just because I have no idea what the market is like, but it is so cool. I love the argyle. I think the yellow was like an awesome color. This is like great for kind of like sort of rockabilly, right?
Sort of. It's a little bit more old school than rockabilly. It's almost like nerd chic.
Yeah, I love it. And it's in great condition. All right, I'm getting to my t-shirts now.
I mean, it's sort of rockabilly.
closer.
I mean, you could put rockabilly in the title and get.
Well, I will, because I think that somebody rockabilly would totally wear that. All right,
so ponte knit or point knit is so basically think of an easy way to describe it, like Eddie Bauer polo shirts. It's just a regular knit that's not flat. It's think of a polo shirt that has a little texture to it. It's not a waffle weave. It's not flat. It's got a little bit of tiny texture to the knit.
Yeah, she's much better with that stuff than I am. All right, so I got a bunch of t-shirts, guys. Got my first. First of all, look at the t-shirt I'm wearing. One of my favorite Christmas movies. I'm going to call it a Christmas movie. Gremlins. So I'm going to start wearing my Christmas t-shirts now. But this t-shirt kills me. First of all, this is definitely 80s. Look at this Hanes 50/50 tag, made in the US. Seriously, guys, what says Christmas better than Division of Child and Family Services?
So sad. It's
Division of Child
t-shirt.
10th annual Wednesday's Child Christmas party. I love this t-shirt. I think it's sad. I think it's great. I actually think it's a great t-shirt.
Oh, we're actually up to 180 watching live now. What?
I think it's an awesome t-shirt. Vintage. We got our single stitch going on here, guys. It's in great condition. Love this t-shirt. I'm totally gonna sell this puppy for like $35-40. That's what I'm saying.
It's so sad.
I'm not selling it for under 30. I know that for sure.
It's really sad.
I think it's great. Anyway, and then I love this t-shirt. I'm a little bummed that you'll see here in a second. I'm a little bummed at the way it's faded on it. It's got like a weird fade, like maybe it was like left out partially in the sun.
Oh, Juliana, you know what? That is the only Tommy Bahama stuff that sells well. That limited edition stuff still sells really well.
Yep.
I sold the New York Yankees version of that shirt. I know exactly what you're talking about. The New York Yankees limited edition one. And I sold it with a big ass stain on the front of it for $150.
And some of the stuff that has the full back embroidered can still do okay with like the fish on it, like the marlin fish.
Some of them
do okay.
Yeah, it depends on what it is.
Anything plain or just even just a plain Hawaiian shirt with a Hawaiian print.
I mean, you'll still make money on them. You can still sell them for $15-20, but the thrift stores usually have them priced at $12 or $15 unless you're getting them for free.
A friendly flea just busted out a $5 super chat. You know what I say to that? Super chat, just super chatty. Yow. We still have Thanksgiving leftovers in the fridge, so I can still do the.
Thank you for
Friendly
that.
Flea says new subscriber here. Really enjoying your videos. Perfect mix of educational and entertaining. Y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, so this is old school Screen Stars tag, nicely faded. So this is definitely 80s. Look at this, guys. It says, I survived Elena, which I'm assuming was some big hurricane or something. So maybe Hurricane Elena.
I think a hurricane.
Labor Day, 1985. Look at that weird. I don't think that fade is intentional. It's kind of like a weird fade at the top, but this is like a really nice, like thin, soft t-shirt. We got the single stitch going on down at the bottom.
Allison's been Googling. She says Greystone Christian High School. Ooh, it's possible.
Ooh, I'll check it out. Anyway, super awesome t-shirt. I love this one. I'll be able to sell it for $30. How do you feel about this one right here?
That one is money. That one is, look at that 80s shirt right there. Can you picture somebody? All right, where's my California peeps here? Dana,
Venice what do you think about this?
Not quite Venice Beach. This is more Pismo Beach, right? I'm thinking Pismo Beach, 80s, surfer wannabe, skater wannabe.
Well, and it says,
and it's a 2XL or something like that. So it's the chubby.
Breeze and performance wear.
Chubby surfer wannabe.
Take this tag off to get this out of the way. It was $4.99, but I got 20% off of that, so I paid $4 for it. Breeze and performance wear, made in Hong Kong. Like, how amazing is this thing? And it's like this really thin, soft material. I don't know. I love the t-shirt that's sort of a tank top, but not a tank top. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. 80s mall item.
Right, Jennifer? Pismo Beach, right? Because that's kind of like the trashy beach. I'm not being insulting because I come from the biggest white trash town in the world. So believe me, I own that shit. But like Pismo Beach is kind of like low rent, right? So I'm thinking that was, it is what it is.
All right, I got my here's my ski tee for, I don't know if Allison left already because she's like, I'm out of here. No, she's still here. This is my ski tee. Check it out. So this is like a nice, if you look up close, it's like that. It's got the little micro stripes and it says ski veil and it's got the mountain and you can see the little.
Look at these long, big, huge sleeves on those 80s and 90s t-shirts.
Love this t-shirt and it's got the single stitch going on. It's kind of hard to see because it's striped, but this is like, I don't even think this was worn. And this is like this particular tag. This is the thing with like these vintage tags. There's so many different ones out there. Like there's your basic Fruit of the Loom, Screen Stars, Hanes, but then you got like all of these ones like this. I'm like, I've never heard of King Street Classic, but it's made in the US. Like, I think this is an awesome t-shirt with this like
she's snoring. She's snoring. She said it wasn't that impressive. That's what I'm reading. But
I don't think she was saying that. I think she was like tired because
boring.
No, she was not. That was not her response to the t-shirt.
It absolutely.
I was saying I don't know where she is, and she's like going, oh, huh, what? Like she's waking up. Whatever. Allison, tell me you like my t-shirt. I think it's cool.
Nope.
Rude.
I'm reading it as
so rude. All right, you show yours, and then I have 4 t-shirts left, and then I'll be done.
All right, I've got 2 more things. So this one.
Frenchie loves the t-shirt. Frenchie loves it, and all I care about is what Frenchie thinks. Why do you think I have her picture on the wall?
That's not what you said last week.
What? I never said anything bad about Frenchie. So rude. See? Now she's stirring the pot with fake crap.
Fake news. Fake news.
Fake crap.
All right, so I picked this when I was by myself, right?
So crinkly.
Oh, I paid $7.99 for this. This is a vintage. This is the tag. I'm thinking this one is 60s-ish.
Chris, I agree. I wonder what Corey thinks too.
I think this is 60s.
Oh, I think she's saying because I just called Frenchie my favorite, but Corey's just my favorite Corey, okay? I didn't say he's my favorite of all time.
And it's just this vintage, like, it is crinkly. It's kind of like, because it's water resistant. It says Cougars. Allison, I may have to send this one to you. You have to wear it. And it's got the, whatever.
Real crinkly.
Snap front. This type of varsity looking sleeves. I got to get a little sweater shaver action going on there.
Mm-hmm. See, Allison said vaporwave stripes, which Kurt Cobain made famous. I love it. Look how many exclamation points she has. Allison, I knew you wouldn't be saying mean things about my ski t-shirt. Oh, anyway, sorry, I can't fake laugh anymore. She says it's played out.
This is rude. The big metal, like, snaps on it. Anyway, I'm thinking this is 50s or 60s. I paid $7.99 for it. It didn't have a price tag on it, so I asked them what it was, and they gave it to me for $7.99 because they always give me good prices on stuff. If this had been on the rack, it probably would have been priced at like $25.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's the way they are. So I think I'm going to list it for around 100 or so. I got to figure out the Cougars is kind of a popular school name, mascot name. So I got to figure out like maybe where the Cougars, the color was like.
All I know is don't try to be stealthy in that thing because, man.
It's crinkly, it's crinkly as hell, right?
See, Corey says no hurt feelings. I'm completely content with being the favorite Corey. I think to be the favorite Corey out of like well over 100,000 Corys is pretty good. And here's the thing. Who knows how many Corys come after that Corey? So he could be the favorite out of a million. I don't know. All I know is he's my favorite. Go ahead.
This is my favorite find from the week, actually.
This is when she went without me. So this is whenever she goes without me, she can go look in the men's section.
I'm allowed.
Was it? You're not allowed. You let me have the men's section because that's the only one I shop when we go together. So and this was in the men's section.
Yeah,
right?
it's a men's jacket. Yeah.
Like you didn't find it misplaced or whatever.
It was not misfiled.
So this is like her especially awesome score that she wouldn't have gotten otherwise. Because I would have gotten it.
So this is a vintage. I think it's 60s. I've got to double check. I got to do a little bit more research on the tag, but it's a 1960s Harley Davidson jacket. I did pay up for it. It was priced at $35.
So I got awesome.
25% off that. But it's a vintage 60s. It is, you look at the older tags inside. It's just the classic motorcycle jacket, but it has the big, huge, thick
zipper.
Zipper?
It's right here.
Yeah.
Look at that fatty
on it. the YKK zipper.
Uh-huh.
And it's really nice broken in, but there's no holes. There's no like rubs. It's broken in, but broken in nicely. It's not overly broken in and trashed. It's missing the belt. It probably had the belt originally. I'm probably going to list it for around 300. And I think
awesome.
it's on a smaller size. It's a smaller size jacket. It's not a big, huge one. If it were bigger, it would go for more, I think. But I'm going to list it for around 300.
Yeah, that is awesome. So, yeah, so Washington State University they're the Cougars, and their main color is that crimson color, so that's probably what it is. Oh, which they have some crazy fans.
That might that might actually be accurate. So I think that's probably vintage right. Washington State. Yeah, we're close enough. That's possible.
So Jennifer, what's the last day you guarantee the item will get to? I think you mean get to the buyer before Christmas.
I don't guarantee anything.
We don't guarantee anything. Here's the thing. Here's what you need to do, because eBay is the one that does like the guaranteed shipping thing. The post office did put out dates where they said like, here's the last day, like ship it by, like if you ship priority by, I think the 21st or the 22nd, like then it should get to wherever it's going to be by Christmas. If you Google it, you'll be able to see those numbers. But as far as we're concerned, like we just list our stuff and I make sure I have everything available. Either they can pay extra for priority or they can pay extra for express. But eBay is the one that like will show those windows.
And they have already super extended your the windows to begin with. To be honest with you, I think that they're not wanting to pay out. So if your customer gets something and they get it later than what the guaranteed delivery date is, and you're in the guaranteed delivery program, they need to contact eBay, and eBay will refund their shipping fee if they paid one, or give them some type of credit if they didn't pay one. It's not on you to do that. And make sure that you tell your customer to do that. That is a service that eBay provides by you opting into the guaranteed shipping program and shipping under a certain time frame and shipping certain methods. You've done everything you can. This is my maybe 15th Christmas that I've been selling on eBay. And I will tell you, you're not going to get the rush orders that you think might happen. Just keep on listing and selling as you normally do. And occasionally you'll have a customer that will contact you and ask you to rush something or overnight something. And, if you can accommodate them, great. If you can't, you can't. Don't be too crazy about it.
Yeah. So Chris, do you have to create another business policy to offer additional shipping options? No, you shouldn't have to, but it kind of depends on how you have your shipping policy set up. So for instance, because I do all clothes, I kind of know that like anything that's under a pound that I'm shipping first class, because of what I sell, I know it can fit into a padded flat rate mailer. So I have like my free first class, and then I'll add within the policy, you can actually add another shipping option and put a price on it. So like I do, priority $6.95, express, because I can put that in a padded flat rate express envelope, I'll put for $22.95. So you shouldn't have to, but it's like, then who knows? I mean, once you get to certain sizes, depending on what you sell, it could kind of
If you look as a buyer, somebody asked, Karen asked if we extended handling time. No, we don't extend handling time. But if you look at my store or Katie's store, or even if I look at my own as a buyer, what a buyer is going to see, I'm shipping everything within 1 business day, and almost everything is going priority. And it is still showing 4 to 5 business days for delivery right now. So I think that eBay has already taken into account that there are slower shipping times in general this time of the year, and they've extended their guaranteed delivery time frames, not us, because it's showing that it's going to take a lot longer than it generally will.
Yeah. Chris, you should, if any of your stuff in your first class policy can go in a padded flat rate mailer, just go ahead and add priority for $6.95. That's what I do. I actually haven't paid for the full amount. You could have it be just like priority $3 more, however you want to do it. So it just depends.
Oh, see, Brenda just saved $12 on pirate shipping to Guam. So awesome. See,
nice.
I think that the sweet spot to save money on your international shipping is between 2 and 4 pounds. 2 and 4 pounds, if you're doing calculated shipping, your buyer's paying X number of dollars depending on where it's going, and you are saving a big chunk on simple export rate. So I find that that's the sweet spot where you end up saving the most amount of money.
All right, I just have 4 t-shirts left real quick. I'll show them really, really, really quick. I'm pretty stoked about this one. This is from 1986. This is Boston Red Sox.
If you are a New Englander, you remember this championship. Okay, 1986 was a huge year for the Red Sox. That was when they went to the World Series. Of course,
did they win
lost.
The World Series? Because
no.
From the Eastern
Honey,
Division.
they didn't win the World Series until 2003 from 1918.
Look at how nice, what great condition this t-shirt's
They
in.
made it to the World Series, and this is the one where the guy, his name is escaping me right now, he lost the ball rolled between his legs.
Yeah, this is a really, really nice t-shirt. It's in really great
it's
condition.
just a huge, I want to say his name is Barry. It's not Barry Bonds,
Yeah.
but it's something. That's the big gloss that sticks in the craw of a lot of
like the graphics on this are just, they're perfect.
Bill Buckner, thank you very much, Thrifty. I knew somebody would have it without me Googling.
Yeah.
Yes, that Bill Buckner, that is the infamous ball rolled between his legs. It was a
so
big,
maybe they don't want to remember this year, but
he
hopefully somebody
was
does.
the laughing stock of
hopefully somebody does want to remember that year, because I want to sell this t-shirt for a lot, hopefully.
I'm a Rhode Islander, so believe me,
Yeah.
I was 11 when that World Series happened, and I remember.
Then check this out, the Six Flags. This is a Six Flags Looney Tunes t-shirt. This is from 1991. It's in excellent condition. It's got the really, you can see the single stitch right there. Excellent condition. It's Daffy Duck. Looks like he's dressed like Dick Tracy, kind of like a gangster thing going on. It's almost kind of like Darkwing Duck, but that's not Darkwing Duck. But I love this t-shirt. No idea how much I'll price it for, but it should be able to sell for a pretty decent amount, because it's a really cool, not a collab, but what do you call it again when it's co-branding?
Co-branding.
So that was really cool.
And Maui Delights, how does one day handling time account for weekends? Basically, Saturday and Sundays are not business days.
They don't count as business days. Even though you can ship on Saturday, if you want to like be super cool and have somebody, occasionally I'll ship something on Saturday, especially if it's a higher dollar item, just because I want to excite the person.
Yeah, and I might start shipping a little bit on Saturday here and there, just because my weekends are really heavy. I mean, I have about 34 items to ship tomorrow morning, which is going to take me the majority of the morning. So, my shipping takes a lot longer because I have a lot of hard goods, and a lot of it's packaging and boxing and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So the last two t-shirts, neither of these are vintage. They're both the same brand, but they're really super cool. This is Santa Cruz, and this is a really cool baseball tee, raglan tee version. It's got the big dot on the back.
Santa Cruz Surf Shop, big dot.
They're like, they do skateboards and stuff, and then this one, same thing.
They're mostly known for the flaming dot. The flaming dot is their most popular one, but those are a little bit different.
Like a crescent moon. So honestly, I haven't looked these two up particularly, but I had bought
$40 at least.
Yeah, there was a hoodie that I sold recently. I think I might have like talked about it here, and it actually had like red paint on the sleeve, and I still sold it to Canada for like $50.
Yeah.
And so these are just super.
I think those are $30 to $40 t-shirts.
These are really, really nice t-shirts. Got them both. I actually got them at two different savers.
This one actually is, as I say, crispy. This feels like a shirt that someone picked up and never wore.
Yeah, they both feel like they're in really good condition. So
I would say that's new without tags. That's real close.
Yeah, they're really, really nice. So anytime you see Santa Cruz, even like I said, the hoodie I got had paint on the sleeve, and I still sold it for like $50.
Because their stuff is super high priced.
It's really high priced if you buy it new, if you buy it like in the store and stuff. And so if you ever come across these at the thrift store, definitely pick them up. And then the last thing, I'm not going to show it, but I did a little bit of, I'm not going to, don't say anything. Don't say anything out loud. Don't ruin it for me. But I did a little online arbitrage, because I saw something come up and I was like, ooh, that's a really good price for Black Friday weekend. And so I laid out a few $100 for some stuff. I will talk about it later, but the reason I'm not saying what it is because
you don't want to flood the market.
Well, something I don't, well, yeah, but the sale is still going on, so it wouldn't be very smart of me to like have more people buy it and like put it up online. But currently there are very few listings, and they're all selling for, I think, roughly 3 times what I'm paying for. So I'm super excited. So as soon as like that sale's over, probably, and like maybe when I sell my first few, I'll say something about it. But I'm pretty stoked about that. So guys, you should be paying attention to all these sales that are going on. Pay attention to what people are saying and the stuff that comes up, because stuff will just pop up and only be on sale for like a day, and you might be able to get in real quick and buy something and flip it really quick during the holiday season. So anyway,
that's it. We did almost a 2-hour show again. Sorry, guys. The majority of you hung in there. We lost about 25 people in the last 20 minutes or so
As
we're winding up. So we lasted.
Well, most people don't stay for the whole time, so people will pop in and pop out.
No, we had a solid 170 to 180.
Yeah.
At the highest, we're over 180, so that's pretty cool. I think that's our largest live audience yet, 180 people. I like it.
Because really, see, some people like the longer shows. Because really what happens is like right when the show's over and I go refresh the video, it'll have like 350 views because people will come and go.
Yeah,
and
in and out, which is cool.
So Chris stayed. Thanks, Chris. Thank you. You're my favorite Christiane.
And Kelly, I was not going to correct your grammar. You corrected it yourself, though, so thank you.
Jen Walker says she popped in the end. She's writing articles today, and we're the background sound.
Oh, interesting. Interesting.
Yep.
Susan, you're going to come over and help me decorate Tuesday?
Yeah. Nice. Awesome.
Anyway, so we were going to go ice skating, but we're not going tonight. So I think we got to get some listing done, and tomorrow we need to ship and decorate.
Yep. Absolutely.
And Tuesday, decorate. And for our local peeps, Tuesday, we're doing our meetup. First one we're going to do here at the house. And subsequent ones are going to be held at the Nevada Blind Center. Toward the end of the month, it'll be toward the end of December. I'll have a date and time for you. So
pretty much. All right, guys. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us. We're going to have a regular show on Wednesday. And then, like I said before, we're going to be in Phoenix next weekend. So No Pants Friday is going to be No Pants Friday After Dark.
With T Money.
With T Money, Teresa. We're going to be hanging out with Teresa. So that should be a really fun show. And then we're going to be thrifting all over the Phoenix area. They have I think they have even more savers in their area than they do here. So we will be hitting the savers hard.
And not just savers.
Yeah, not just savers, but we will be hitting the savers. And so next Sunday's show, we will be showing awesome finds from Arizona.
We'll be in Arizona still, I think.
Yeah, we will still be there. So we'll be doing our show probably while T Money's at church or something. I don't know if she'll be around.
Contact my agent. Whatever. Whatever. But yeah, we're gonna have some great stuff, and I'm pretty excited about it.
Yep, me too. All right, guys, thank you so much. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Thumbs up if you haven't done so yet. Join the Boss Facebook group if you haven't done that yet. And we will see you later. We say that.
Have a great Sunday.